other ones. Do you fear that you are right and the world is wrong? That the dream of a loving world will never be in your lifetime? You are not alone. There are millions with similar fears. Some time ago, you learned that those who wish to remain in fear in this lifetime, or for longer than you, would do so needing to promote the fears of others. That they would try to make you feel less than you are. That you would feel as if all was lost. You are likely now experiencing those feelings. As is true for the bell curve, some have managed to move outside the fear that all is lost. They are bravely observing from a place you may not yet quite understand. There are others who wish to remain in fear and anger. They do not address issues outside the 3D world they know. But the vast majority, which might include you, remain in fear of not completing the task of bringing light to Earth in this lifetime. You are truly not alone. Daily, there are millions of Earth beings and others who are climbing aboard the light boat, who are tired of fear and pain. Even though those recently aboard do not quite understand what they are searching for, they will. And there is you. You know exactly what you wish to achieve and have been addressing that for years, perhaps decades. So you cannot understand why everyone is not reaching for or sharing their light. You were the first to acknowledge your role in this amazing transition, and you are tired of shining a beacon few seem to care about. Your concerns are not accurate, for the numbers searching for light increase daily, and so are in various stages of lighting their world. But because of those various stages, you feel the loneliness of seemingly nothing changing in your outer world. You are angry, frustrated and fearful. What if our messages and the messages of so many other channels are false? What if this is your life with a few blips of joy here and there? Most of all, you are fearful of failing your transition role despite your diligent efforts. Such is not so, for the tidal wave of discontent initiated by you will reach full depth and breathe in the next few months. You were courageous enough to initiate this transition before anyone believed such a transition was possible. Despite fears, you created a new inner world for yourself, and by so doing, touched those who questioned the wisdom of your inner work. So it is you have initiated a chain of reactions much as does the fuse of a stick of dynamite that has been lit and is carrying that flame to a resulting explosion. Those of you at the forefront have done so throughout the globe, creating personal Earth explosions and therefore, of the universes. At the same time, we of the universes ensured that your flames did not die and moved further and faster than you imagined. Those flames are now large enough for explosions to begin within weeks in ways you have not anticipated. You completed more than you expected. An effort that will shine forth to verify you are not alone and that you completed your initial transition roles with flying colors. For colors are an important part of this transition. The shades of Earth are evolving from cool blue to warm yellow. Those who cannot or will not accept this new light will either experience an Earth-death transition or remain in small pockets of fear. Just as was true when fear was the dominant feeling and there were small pockets keeping joy alive. Perhaps you wonder why fear needs to remain of the Earth. Even though fear is part of your earthly experience feeling packet, it is no longer the dominant emotion for you or others at a similar transition place. Just as the full spectrum of color is part of your new you visuals, so is it true for emotions. Even though you may not like a warm brown as much as a vibrant red, you relish the thought that you can select the colors that best suit you, that you have freedom of choice. So it is for emotions. If you did not include fear as part of your repertoire, even though a small part, you would have difficulties understanding joy. You have always had, and always will have freedom of choice. It was your choice to be of Earth at this time. And it is your choice to continue fear feelings. You are frustrated, perhaps angry now. Where is your joy? Your joy is inside you when you remember how far you have come. A joy that is spreading throughout the globe in ways you cannot now understand as more and more lights begin sparkling, creating an Earth of light with just a few dark corners here and there. You cannot yet imagine what such a massive light will feel like, but you will once it becomes your reality. As is true for those of you who experience seasonal leaves falling from trees, you will not remember what deep fear feels like once joy is dominant, Just as you cannot exactly remember the visual of leafless trees once the leaves return. You are not alone, a phrase that is becoming more real daily. You are merely at the end of your global fear lessons, and as is true of most students, you are excited to move ahead to the next piece or lesson. So this fear seems too wearisome, even though your current fear is less disturbing than was true just months ago. You are no longer one of only a few earth beacons. You are now part of a multitude that is reaching the light level of explosion. So be it. Amen.